Okay, here's a quick overview of my rack that I use my MC6000 in. Today I'm using a QSC KW181 as my stand. Alright, so here you can see my Furman power conditioner. I've got every component plugged into this. My microphones, my MC6000, the power plug for my laptop, everything that's in here is plugged into this. So what that does is it gives me one power cord that comes out of the back. For now, I'm taking the power cord, wrapping it underneath to the front, and it comes out here the front so no one sees any cables. But what I'm about to do is create a panel mount for that power cord inside of this panel mount rack right here, and then the power plug will have this on the other end of it, and it just plugs in, and then I lock it in, and there's my power. So there's one power source right there. Then here we've got our powered speakers plugged in with our XLR cables. So these two connectors right here go to the master out. So those panel mount plugs meet here on the master out of the MC6000. And then the ones you see over here are actually the booth. So you can control your booth volume here. And those are also 90-degree quarter inch that go to these panel mount XLR panel here. So there's the MC6000. This rack is actually technically a 2-space in the front, but it had a little blank plate here, which I just removed and moved it down to this spot here, which is a blank space, because I wanted to have access to all these buttons here. So you notice the rack is all the way, the MC6000 rack ears are all the way to the edge up here. So it looks nice and clean. I've added the SKB laptop shelf here, and I modified it. The legs were actually about this tall, and I took about 2.5–3 inches off of them to lower it because I didn't feel like I wanted it to be up much higher. So it's just right here. What else do we have in here? When you pull the laptop shelf down, you can then see I have rack mounted in here my two EV RE2 microphones. And then right in here, let's see if we can look at this. Right in here is an external hard drive, and I've got space here for another hard drive. In this gap right here, I was going to put a just a plate, but for right now it's open, so I can access all my cables while I'm working on this. And I want to show you guys how I can actually use the right angle cables here. Speaking of the right angle cables, also there's a right angle for the two mic inputs. So we got mic 1 and 2 going to this right angle, which gives you more room, because you know if a cable's shooting straight out, it's going to be bending, you don't want that. This right here is just an RCA cable that I have with a 1/8 inch plug on the end in case I ever needed to plug in a another audio source such as an MP3 player. That is pretty much everything. This is the laptop I used. It's a Fujitsu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Fujitsu. It was the best computer I could buy when my old computer crashed at the time for under $1,000, and I was trying to keep under 1,000. And one other thing I wanted was the VGA output to have the screws, not just a plug where the VGA cable could accidentally get pulled out. This is more secure because you can actually screw in the VGA cables. So I like that about this laptop. Oh, and all I have to do is set my laptop down, plug in the MC6000 by the USB cable. I have an extra power supply for my laptop that's just already always in my rack, so I just plug that in, and then I plug in my external hard drive. So I got those 3 cables. Then I'm going to have my power cord, which is going to go here, like I mentioned earlier, and then my other 2 cables for audio. And then last but not least, obviously some people might want to use headphones. So I plug those in, and then I'm ready to play music. And we got Vic Wobble. So that's my rack for my MC6000. Hopefully that helps you understand kind of how I made everything in an all-in-one. Quick and easy setup. I usually set this up in probably 10 minutes. I could do it quicker if I really needed to, but sometimes just to load the MP3s and get everything set here on the software, queue up a song, takes a few minutes. But literally I could play music in about 10 minutes when I roll into a venue. So thanks for watching.